Let's I'm just gonna do the nano chain conversion first, but curiosity's getting the best of me, so let's go ahead and put the Westcoast muffler on. This chain, I do not like an outboard clutch. I just think they're ridiculous. Or an inboard drive sprocket. I guess it's an outboard clutch, but one thing I noticed right off the bat, I only cut for 1 tank of fuel with this thing, and look how dirty it is inside it. Oh, no big deal. I need some B27. Those screws are tight. Just 2 screws, takes the cover off. And it looks like we got 3 screws for the muffler. The screws for the cover were tighter than the screws for the muffler. Alright, we need to try and save this gasket. Let's see if we can work him off there without tearing it up. Oh yeah, perfect. Come right off. There we go. Just like so. I see. One thing I see I don't like, he uses Allen head, which typically is fine, but when everything else is torqued, it kind of sucks to have to get out an Allen wrench to take the muffler apart. No big deal, I guess. There we go. You hear something rummaging around in the background. It's my dog is mouse hunting in the garage right now. If you don't have one of these, a small impact driver, you're missing out. Okay. Put this cover on. This cover back on. And guys, I tell you, I hate to even put that 3/8 chain back on. I probably should Should have done that conversion first. It's strange that these cover screws have Loctite on them, but the muffler didn't. There we have it. Looks good. It's kind of hid away in there. Shouldn't make it loud and obnoxious. I don't like a loud and obnoxious saw at all. I can't stand it, honestly. So, kind of curious about this muffler. I might cut this thing open and see what it looks like in there. I don't need it for anything, but I'm pretty sure it's got a catalytic something or another in there. Probably really chokes us all down, so we may cut that open someday just out of curiosity. All right, let's get a bar back on it and we'll go outside and see outside. Good sharp chain. The stock chain that we were cutting with the other day was terribly missharpened, so I resharpened it. This is just a stock chain that's been brushed up a little bit. So this is hard maple we're cutting. Back on the bench here. Let's do the nano conversion on this thing. We've seen how it runs now. We did stock, then we did the we pulled the limiters out of the caps and adjusted the card, which really didn't make much difference. It was tuned about as well as it could be from the factory with that muffler on it. So now we've got the Westcoast saw muffler on. Saw sounds great. It's not real loud, and it definitely picked up some speed. We'll see if we can get some comparisons out of the cut videos. It's gonna be hard to do because I was cutting a different log, but you can visibly see it cuts better. So now we're going to switch over to the Oregon Nano Chain system. So let me get the camera set up. We'll do that real quick. You're gonna have to ignore my messy workbench. I've had a lot going on. My job is quite I have a very stressful job that requires a lot of hours. So through the week, I'll run out here and piddle around for a few minutes and then just leave my mess. So that's why the bench looks like it does. But let's get this changed out. See how it goes. So one thing I ended up just getting a 12-inch bar for this. I have a little 211 with a 14-inch bar, and for this saw in particular, I just don't need a 14-inch bar on it. So we'll have it here if we ever need it, but I don't foresee me ever going back to that. One thing I will note on the Westcoast muffler with the 3/8 chain, this right here, where this muffler protrudes out, it gets really difficult to get this chain off. Let's see if I can show you what happens here. You've got to you've about got to twist it out of there and you got to get a, yeah, see, I can't even get it there. You got to twist it to get it out. The muffler doesn't have as much clearance as the stock one does. But that's okay because the 1/4 inch chain should do a lot better. It just popped off with, yep, there we go. So, ouch, that clutch is hot. All right, make sure the oil drives in. Oh boy, that bearing's dry. I'm gonna go grab some grease. Be right back. So I always just use red and tacky grease and put a little on the bearing. You know, the bearing really only spins when the saw is idling. Whenever you're running just normal or running, the clutch is locked up and the bearing shouldn't, in theory, be spinning at all. So got that. Stick that guy in there, in the washer. It goes in here. Where's my clutch at? And then, ooh, it's hot. Something's going. Oh, I see. Okay. There's actually an index mark on these clutches for the oil drive that you got to get. There we go. Interesting, the stock one don't have that. Let me show you. I'm gonna take this back off. This notch in the Oregon clutch actually indexes your oil pump drive. Now the stock clutch does not have that. So I'm not sure. I guess on the stock one, I guess it just rides inside one of the rim's teeth, but this one, it actually rides right there. So make sure you pay attention to that if you do this conversion, that it goes in. This washer only goes on one way too. It's actually countersunk on the back side. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see here. Come on. See that countersunk in there? If we flip it over, it don't have that. So make sure you're getting that washer on correct too. Okay. All right. Here's our chain. Whoops. There we go. Little baby bar. Yeah, that nano chain don't want to go in there either. I just think outboard clutches are ridiculous anyway. I just don't understand it. All right, there's that. Here we are, 12-inch nano. I bet that makes the biggest difference of anything we do in the cutting speed. All right, let's make some cuts with the nano conversion here. So I'm getting cut into a knot, so it's probably gonna slow down a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, we'll cut one cookie off this just because of the last one we cut. You can see it had a little bit of a knot too, so we'll cut one cookie off of this one and see how it goes. Difference in the chips, and that's an unsharpened chain. Remember the last video, we weren't getting near those cuts. I think in it just pulls smoother and faster. I think this saw needs to run a couple tanks of gas through it before it really opens its potential, but we're not even going to give it a chance to do that. We're going to go inside, let it cool down for a few minutes, and then we're going to tear this thing apart. We're going to tear it all the way apart and do a little home workbench port job on it. See if I can either make it run better or screw it up. So here we go. See you next time.